Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to take a look at a case out of Appling, Georgia. Now, what you may have seen on this case in the news is only part of the story. There's a lot more to it, so make sure to stick around to the end to find out what really had took place in this household on this tragic day. And thank you for joining me today. Shot and killed by 15-year-old son. Son claims father abused his mother. Appling, Georgia. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a deadly shooting on Gales Road in Appling on October 28, 2020. According to Columbia County Sheriff's Office, the call came in at around 8:30 p.m. and initially was in reference to CPR in progress. Moments later, officials say a second call came in addressing stated that there was blood everywhere, to hurry. Once deputies arrived at the scene, they located a male on the back porch who had suffered a gunshot wound to the head, 66-year-old Wesley Jordan Gales. While on the scene, deputies located Wesley's former wife and 15-year-old Tucker Gales. Deputies spoke to the wife and the son and heard conversations that indicated the victim had been shot by the son. The sheriff's office says the 15-year-old admitted to shooting his father with a .22 caliber Marlin semiautomatic rifle. Tucker is being charged with murder and was transported to the YDC and the RYDC, which is the same correctional center. Officials say the son told authorities he had enough of his father abusing his mother, himself, and others. According to records from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office, Wesley Gales was arrested March 11th and charged with battery, family, domestic violence, cruelty to children in the third degree. In the incident report from March 11th arrest, authorities responded to the residency where they met Deborah Tucker in the front yard. Deborah told authorities her husband Wesley had been drinking heavily, and when she got into a verbal altercation, he assaulted her. According to Deborah, she went to the bathroom to get tissue for Wesley when Wesley threw a DVD player at her, narrowly missing and smashing against the wall in the hallway of the home. When their son, 15-year-old Tucker, went to pick up the DVD player and the remains of it, his father yelled down the hallway at him, "Leave that fucking thing there. She deserves it. She'll get what's coming to her." End quote. While in the bathroom, Deborah says Wesley came into the bathroom, hit her multiple times, and once in the left eye, leaving a large gash above her eyebrow, then pulling her hair and punching her several times in the upper chest area between the breasts. He then pulled her into the hallway where he continued to assault her more. Deborah told authorities she felt dizzy and fell down after his last blow to the side of the head. While on the floor, Wesley kicked her in the forehead with his steel toe boots, leaving a mark and a deep bruise on the side of her head, on left side of her head, in the hair area. The son, 15-year-old Tucker, witnessed the entire event. After viewing marks of blood coming from Deborah's nose, the side of her head, and ear, deputies located Wesley in the bedroom and asked him what had happened. Wesley did admit to the deputies in a verbal altercation had occurred, but didn't take all the blame. He blamed most of it on Deborah, but said he did hit her a couple of times to teach her a lesson, causing her nose to bleed and blood that was seen coming from her ear. Wesley also admitted to deputies that he kicked her in the forehead while she was laying on the ground, semi-conscious. Wesley was arrested and transported to Columbia County Detention Center. He was granted a signature bond. No cash needed, no collateral needed. He signed himself out an hour and a half after arrival at the Columbia County Jail. He was due to be back in court next week. So the full picture on this that you need to understand. First off, as you see here on the screen, this is what they called a Marlin semi-automatic rifle. It is a simple, one shot at a time rifle, mainly used for small game, not really meant for self-defense, but obviously was used in self-defense in this case. It's not the scary, semi-automatic, machine gun, or fully automatic machine gun that a lot of news media outlets have been trying to portray the son used to kill his father. The next thing that you need to be aware of is the length and ongoing issue between Deborah and her husband. This wasn't the first time he attacked her. This wasn't even the first time she was put in the hospital because of injuries that she sustained. Deborah and her husband were divorced. She had spent several years trying to get away from him. But every time she started to make a break for it, he acted like he had turned over a leaf, a new leaf. He was sorry. He was apologetic. He wined her. He dined her. He said it would never happen again. But it always happened again. She had nowhere to go. In Abilene, Georgia, where they reside, the nearest women's shelter is 45 miles away. And even then, they only have 4 beds. 4 beds for an area of almost 6,000 people. Abilene, Georgia. Domestic violence is not exactly something that the police and the community is able to or willing to really fully address. Neighbors take care of neighbors in this area. When it comes to violence like this, it's most of the time is taken care of within the community and the family. Several of the past couple of years, incidents became violent. And he wasn't always drinking. The son couldn't put up with the abuse anymore. He couldn't stand by and watch his mother be beaten. He couldn't put up with the mental, the physical abuse from his father anymore. Nor could he sit back and watch his father turn his rage on anybody else who just happened to be in the area anymore. As the abuse escalated over the years, family became more and more distant. Instead of closing in and protecting those and getting those out who were being abused, like Deborah and her son and other minor children who were in the way, the family became distant. The network that they needed closed up until the end, where the son couldn't put up with it anymore. He knew. Deborah knew There was one outcome that was coming. His father was going to eventually kill his mother and most likely him. And now the county has decided to press murder charges against him. There have been a couple of attorneys who have stepped up and decided that they will take this case pro bono. A GoFundMe has been set up to raise money for the medical treatment for Deborah and for the legal fees for her son. But what needs to be closer attention paid to, besides that, is the law. How much abuse should they have put up with? When was the law going to step in and stop him? Again, he was arrested and charged with abuse against his wife and his child in March, and he signed a signature bond. Not even putting up collateral or $1 out of pocket. He walked in and walked right back out and went right back to the family. And you can bet your last dollar he made them pay. Because that's what an abuser does. He turns it right back against them. You did this to me. You're the reason why I'm in trouble. If you would just do what I want, if you would just listen, that is what an abuser does. Any man who raises their hand to you or to another woman or to a child is not a man. That is a coward, ladies and gentlemen. A cold-blooded, disgusting coward. If you are being abused, seek help immediately. If it happens once, you can guarantee it'll happen again. And what will the outcome be the next time? Thank you for joining me today. And stay safe out there.